Salaam Allaikum, everyone. I am Reverend Reg, and I'm here for putting things in perspective. And, I'm so excited because I have a new friend whom I met during the World Book and Copyright Day and during their English language activity because they're encouraging people to become more globally connected and understand the English language better so they can connect to the rest of the world more efficiently and more effectively. And that's why I'm so amazed because as I was going over the details of their group, I noticed that our guest for today is such a young leader, very purposeful, very diligent, and wow, is such an amazing visionary. So let me give you all a brief background of our guest today. She's 21 years old, who is an English language and translation student at the Applied Science University. Not only is she a student, but at the beginning of the year 2020, she started her own initiative which aims on familiarizing the population with the English language. She is passionate about a lot of things such as teaching, meeting new people, learning new things, and of course, helping others. She has volunteered as a teacher in a couple of schools in Jordan where she helps students learn more about the English language. So without further ado, come on, let's give my friend a round of applause because I am so amazed at what she's doing. So let me all welcome Rama Mustafa. He's also the founder of Lingo Hub. Ramadan Kareem and Salam Alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Thank you for having me and thank you for the very nice introduction that you just gave. I'm very honored to be here, to be honest. I'm very happy to talk about my accomplishments and get to know you as well. And yeah, nice to meet you and nice to meet whoever is watching us live today as well.
Yes, and for our viewers, please say hi or salam alaikum if you're in the Middle East or other parts of the world and you're actually listening to Rama. I'm so grateful as well because I was part of the World Book and Copyright Day. I am so amazed at you and your team that you would celebrate that because I'm part of a lot of authors groups worldwide, but not everybody was able to celebrate that particular event. So, what was the inspiration for coming up with the activity during that day?
Now, to be honest, as you know, Lingo Hub, we aim on familiarizing the population with the English language. And in order to do that, we try our best to celebrate every international event that has something to do with English, books or English language day or whatever it is. We like to celebrate that because we believe that it's important to celebrate and we believe that it's important to raise awareness on such days. So the passion or the inspiration that came behind us celebrating or behind us organizing such event was one of my friends. Her name is Sara Dole. She's an author herself. I talked to her. I told her about the event. She was like, "No, why not? Let's do it. Let's organize it." And I did with my team, like the team that I work with, the Lingo Hub's team. We worked very hard on it. We worked for like weeks on it. We contacted guests to come speak on the event itself and whatnot. So this is kind of one of the inspiration behind it is the friends that I've got. And again, because we know that books are important, we cannot not agree that the books are very important in our lives. That being
Yes.
English books, that being Arabic books, French, whatever it is, books are important. They're a very important thing. So we decided to celebrate such event because we want to raise awareness on the importance of reading, the importance of books, and how books can help many of us reach or expand the mind that we've got. Because at the end of the day, you can travel through books. That's how they say it. So yeah.
Yeah, and congratulations. So, I was just curious because you mentioned it's important to celebrate. So, is that a cultural thing for people in Jordan?
It is not. No, we don't really have it as a national holiday. You can say it's not really something that we've celebrated culturally, but it all depends on the person themselves and their interests. So, for instance, my interests are books and English language and whatnot. So I celebrate such stuff, or I try my best to raise an awareness on such day. Many people, they don't necessarily find interest in such events or such days, so they don't necessarily celebrate it or do anything to uh, raise awareness on it. So yeah, so it's not really a cultural thing. No, it's a person's thing. That's how it is.
Amazing. So,
Yeah.
I'm so amazed at you because you seem to be very empowered, very self confident. So, in Jordan, are women empowered and as confident as you, or they have a certain level of confidence? Because I noticed that for other people, because they feel that they're women, they feel that the only thing that they're going to do is to stay at home and take care of the family. But for you, you have a different mindset and you want to be part of the global interaction. So
Yeah.
are women in Jordan more empowered than other countries in the Middle East? Would you say you have
Now,
more freedom?
Now, I don't necessarily know, like, compared to other countries, but I would say that we do have freedom. Again, as I told you before the live itself, it all depends on the person. Oh, it all depends on the family. For instance, my family, they're very open-minded in ways that you can go work, go meet new people, do whatever you want, be someone. They do empower women. I've got people, friends
Amazing.
in university as well. Friends, like my friends in university, they're very empowered. They're very amazing. They do stuff. My doctor's in university. You met Dr. Samah. She's a very empowered woman. She's very amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
She enjoys doing that. And many women here in Jordan as well, they do um, enjoy being empowered. For instance, Queen Rania herself, she's a very empowered woman.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's the biggest example I can give you here in Jordan. So yes, answering your question is like, are women in Jordan more empowered than other countries? I can't really compare because I don't know what happens in other countries. I haven't lived in any other country except Saudi
Mhm.
Arabia, but it all depends on the person's mindset, the family's
Mhm.
mindset, what the family believes in, their culture, their traditions, and whatnot.
Yes.
But women here, of course, like if they feel comfortable staying at home, then they do that. If they feel comfortable working and providing for the family, they do that. They do
Yeah,
have the right to, do whatever
to
they want.
choose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Actually, one of the things that I do appreciate about your culture is that, I noticed how close knit my Muslim friends are. I'm very amazed, especially during this Ramadan. I'm reminded of a lot of amazing occasions that I spent with them during Ramadan. And I have a lot of Muslim friends who are very loyal. I've I've built friendships with them for over 20 years and I'm still friends with them. So I love that particular experience of mine because of that experience with them, I have a very positive orientation about your culture. And I'm so grateful that we're able to connect this way because if not for the online meetings, we will all be wondering what each culture would be like. So,
Yeah.
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 And
So we thank God for the internet. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
indeed. And I also want to go back to what you said about Dr. Sama,
Hmm.
um, because when I attended the activity about 2 weeks ago, I am so amazed at her research work. And wow, I was thinking, imagine this person preparing this much for this day. And it's just amazing to see more women who are leaders in their field and have the vision that they're not just going to do things locally, but they're going to take it to the global level. So you're very young and you said you're just 21 years old. So where do you
Yes.
get the drive to actually do these things?
Uh, this is a very long, it's going to be a long answer. Now, one of the people that is behind, I can say, my success in some way is my parents,
Mhm.
specifically my dad. My dad always pushed me to do more and to become, a great woman that I am. He always tells
Yeah.
me to, go explore whatever you want, go work there, go work there, go volunteer there, go do that. He always encourages me to, let's say, get out of my comfort zone. So
Mhm.
that's something he always does. That's like how my dad raised us to be: go out of your comfort zone, go meet new people, go experience new
Wow.
things. Yeah, so that's he was one of the reasons that actually pushed me to become like that. Of course, my doctors, of course, my friends, like everyone in my life affected me in one way or another. But the main reason I would say is my parents, my mother, my father, my brothers as well. Although they're kind of, young and they don't really get everything, but they do help me in one way or another. Like they're watching the live, I believe, right now. They're supporting me in some ways or another. Yeah. So the
Beautiful.
main reason, the main reason behind me being who I am at such a young age is my family. Yeah.
Amazing. Congratulations. That's an amazing achievement, and I also applaud your parents and the rest of your family because it's so amazing to see someone try to bring out their full potential constantly. And I know that you're consistently doing the activities weekly and growing your circle. So that's such an amazing way to experience more of what we can do in the internet. And
Mm-hmm.
contrary to what other people think, that the internet is actually consuming your time unnecessarily, you're bringing it to another level of, you're elevating it, you're making it more purposeful, and you're educating a lot of people. So where did your passion to educate come from aside from your parents?
Mm. Okay, so my passion to educate is a long story as well. Now, it first started in my first year of university. Again, with Dr. Samah, we had this program called Katie's Readers. It was supervised. Oh, it started with this amazing woman. Again, her name is Angela Risa. She lives in the UK. She started this, I think it's an initiative called Katie's Readers, where she encourages young people to teach the language, to read to other kids, and so on. So it started in my first year of university. Dr. Samah came to my friends and I, like we were sitting. She came to us. She told us about the program. She was like, "Are you interested?" I was like, "I am." I never
Mhm.
knew my passion would be education. So I was like, "No, why not? I'm gonna, take the risk," as they say. So I signed up. We met with a woman called Julia Shqer, I believe her name is. She told us more about the program. She told us more about the schools that we will be going to. And then she gave us, like the whole plan, the agenda to do. So we prepared, my friends and I, we prepared a couple of lessons, a couple of activities, games, and whatnot, because again, the main reason behind the program was to teach the language in a fun way. So we prepared
Mhm.
that, and then we went to public schools here in Jordan. We
Mhm.
taught young boys the language. It was a very different experience. I have never experienced such thing in my life. It was very new, but it was very nice as well. I never necessarily taught boys in general, so they were kind of hard, but like we got through it. They were fun. Yeah, they yeah, it was fun. It was a fun experience. So it started there. And then later on, first year of university, I volunteered with Katie's Readers. Second year, I was a supervisor. I was not an English
Mhm.
teacher. I was supervising like the new English teachers, I would say. And then later on in 2020, I contacted Madrasati. It's an initiative here in Jordan run by the Queen Rania. Uh, I contacted the madrasati itself, and I was like, I'd like to volunteer with you guys. Like, I'd like to, volunteer as in an English teacher or whatnot. Later on,
Amazing. So
later
you met
on,
the queen with her
no,
initiative.
no, 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 we did not know. She doesn't like. We don't meet her. It's the people that work in the initiative themselves. That's who I contacted. I wish I can meet the queen, but that didn't
Yeah,
happen
of
yet.
course.
So yeah, so I he called like Abdul Ilah. His name is Abdul Ilah Al Faoudi. He called me. He was like, are you still interested in like volunteering? I was like, yeah, I would love to. I would love to work in such things, especially teaching, especially education. So he told me, why don't you collect a couple of people and like work together, and then we'll give you schools, and you'll go to schools and teach the syllabus that you've got ready, the curriculum that you've got ready. I told him, okay, why not? So that's how I did it. We prepared a couple of things, and then he was like, why don't you give your group of people a name? It was very chaotic. I couldn't think of a name. The name started with my little tail. So I was like, okay, my little tail, let's go. He was like, okay, are you sure? I was like, yeah. So my little tail was our first name. Uh,
Mhm.
we began there. It was like me starting my initiative was never planned. Yes, I planned on
Mhm.
teaching. I had plans on becoming, an educator, but I never planned on starting my own initiative. So he told me, what would you like to name it? I was like, my little tail. The name was very, out of the blue. I didn't even plan it. And then we started. It was before the whole thing happened, before the pandemic. We went to
Mhm.
school in Ma'daba and Salt under my supervision. We had a cultural exchange program where we taught the kids the English language uh, in a fun way, as I said. The fun way
Mhm.
was I got people from different countries. We've got people from Malaysia. Uh, I believe they were Chechenians and
Mhm.
Turkish, and they all went to different schools and taught the kids their culture in the English language. So that was our program. Unfortunately, due to COVID, we only went to the schools for like one Saturday, and then COVID came around, and then we had to close the program. We couldn't complete the culture exchange program. Later on in that year, 2020, um, we hosted our very first on-site event. It was a reading event. It was like grab a book or like something. We hosted it for kids. We read the book. We had some arts and crafts, reading comprehension and whatnot. Something a little fun activity. Later on in 2021, I decided to change the name because I didn't really like my little tale. So I was like, no, no, we're gonna put we're gonna put that
Yeah.
on the side and change the name a little bit. So I we came up with Lingo Hub,
Mhm.
and that's how it is. That's where we are right now. So it started university, and then with madrasati, and then here. As I said, we've got so many people that influenced me, so many people that helped me, so many people that stood by me through this. So it's a long
Yeah.
story, but hopefully I shortened it a bit. Yeah.
But it's amazing because it shows us how devoted you are to what you're doing. I think it all starts that way. You have an idea and then it grows from there and then it will unfold and then you find what's the most appropriate thing to do in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, you mentioned earlier you wanted to meet the queen, and honestly, for me as an outsider, I'm pretty amazed at countries that keep the monarchy because I also did my own research. And even someone who's an outsider, I would ask myself, what's the importance of the monarchy, especially in this day and age? I have my own answer, but I want to hear it from you. What do you think is the importance of the monarchy in this day and age?
I really don't necessarily have an answer because I don't really look into that. I don't really do my research on such topic. I just, live. That's how it is. I don't really look into it. But I do think it does have some advantages. Again, I can't really because I don't want to say something that's wrong or that's right. So I'm sorry, but I can't really answer this specific thing, because I've not
Yeah,
really experienced it. I don't really know why it's there or like the advantages of it or the disadvantages of it because I don't necessarily do my research on such topic.
mhm.
So yeah, I would like to listen to your answers. Why do you think monarchy is there?
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm amazed at your conversational skills that you can turn the tables this way. Not a lot of people can do that. So when I was doing my research and I was very curious why do other countries still keep the monarchy?
Mm-hmm.
So apparently for countries that keep the monarchy, they keep it because people's loyalty are with the monarchy and not with the politicians. So to them, the monarchy is the symbol of their ideals, of their values. That's why a particular population has a very high they have very high expectations of the royal family. And hopefully the royal family members are able to maintain that level of trust because of their because of the behavior that they have. So because they have evolved over time for many many centuries. For example, I found out that one monarchy right now in the world, they have existed for about 1,500 years. So
Okay.
naturally, 70% of the population, their confidence in the monarchy is a lot greater than the political leaders that they have at the moment because they feel that political leaders, you will elect them every now and then, but the monarchy to them is the symbol of their ideals and cultural values.
Mm.
So to them, they feel more emotionally stable, and even the business circle of countries that keep the monarchy, they have a higher trust in the monarchy than their political system. So
That's very
that's far
interesting to
as
be
my
honest.
research
Oh,
goes.
No, that's
But
very interesting. I never like thought of it in that way. That's great. Yeah.
yeah. But I'm amazed that you can ask a question like that in the middle of a conversation, because not a lot of people are able to engage this way.
Mm,
And one of the things that you mentioned during the activity was you want your students to feel that they can engage in practical, useful business conversations. So, how
mm.
would you rate your students right now? As are they as well versed as you and as confident as you? Because other people, I would ask them a question like that, it will make it very difficult for them to ask me back a question.
Mm.
So as a teacher, do you feel that your students are of the same level of confidence with your communication skills right now?
Now, I wouldn't say, because okay, now we don't really have what is it called? Like a stable student. Like we don't really have stable students that we always work with. We kind of
Mhm.
work with many people. Okay, we started with the schools, and then we don't really teach in schools. We're starting a conversation club today. Is gonna be at 9 p.m. We're having a conversation club. So this is gonna be our first, speaking club. And because Lingo Hub hasn't started, like hasn't been around a while, so I can't really tell you. Yes, they've got the same confidence that I have, because maybe they're not as trained as I am. Maybe they haven't put their language into practice the way I am, but we're working on that. Like today, as I told you, we're starting a speaking club. Hopefully, the people who are going to join us during this speaking club will become as confident. They're going to be able to have conversations. They're going to be able to use their language, even if their grammar, even if they do grammar mistakes, even if they can't necessarily pronounce a word correctly, as long as they can speak confidently, as long as they can speak in a way that their meaning is reached, then this is it. This is our goal. So hopefully today we can do that during our sessions. But my students, I can't necessarily answer that, because, as I said, we don't have a stable number of students. Our students, come and go. So yeah.
Amazing.
Mm.
Anyway, another question came to mind now that you brought it up, because one of the things that makes people mature a lot faster is their exposure to other people, not their family members,
Hmm.
and that they're able to engage comfortably with people outside their family. So I want to ask, did your parents train you to speak English at home?
Mm. Yes, Hala, I've always been in international schools since I was KU1 back in Saudi Arabia. I was always in an international school. We always spoke in English. Even my school back then, we weren't allowed to use Arabic during breaks. Like, breaks are for students to chill out, to have lunch, talk to their friends. We were not allowed to use Arabic then. You had to sit, talk to your friends in English. And if like a teacher passed by and heard you speaking in Arabic, she would like look at you and like, Rama, English. I was like, okay. So this is one of the reasons that why my like English is better. Now my parents,
Mhm.
they did uh speak in English with us at home, but my parents, like, their English level is not as good as mine are, but like they tried their best. They always, encouraged us to read. They encouraged us to speak in English. Although yes, Arabic is important. They always used Arabic as well, but having a second language is important as well. So yes, my parents did use English with us. They also used French, but I don't know any French, to be
Amazing.
honest right now, because in school we used to study French up to like eighth grade. So my mother would like buy us CDs, and she would like make us watch movies in French so that we can understand it. But then we no longer practice the French language, so we don't really know any French right now. But yeah, my parents did work on us. They worked very hard for us to gain the language, as well as the schools, for sure. Like the schools, uh, they're like one of the main reasons why my English is good, I would say.
Yeah, and not only your English is good, but your mindset is really very impressive, because you're only 21 years old, and I don't know a lot of people at that age who has this kind of uh, mentality. And
Mm,
that's why I brought it up earlier about maturing a lot faster, because you're able to get along and connect with more people who probably don't have the same perspective as you. And here in the show, we talk a lot about perspective, and it's so important, because when things happen in our lives, it's how you put things together is really gonna shape your reality, and you seem to be a very enthusiastic, optimistic person.
Thank
So
you.
you're welcome. Where do you get your optimism and your enthusiasm from?
Now, currently, I'm trying to live a life where, why be sad? Why not be enthusiastic? Why not be optimistic? Because that like life is short. One way or another, we're all gonna go away. But I live my life in a way that if I'm not doing what I want, if I'm not doing something that makes me happy, if I'm not being happy of what I'm doing, then why do it at all? So I try my best to always be optimistic of what I'm doing, even if it's something that's not necessarily something I like, but I just try my best to do it in a way that will make me like it. Because if I don't do the job in like if I don't believe in the thing that I'm doing, then I'm not gonna do it perfectly. So that's why I always like I'm optimistic at what that. Of course, I've got days where I don't feel like doing anything, and
Yeah.
days that where I'm like, no, I don't feel like being optimistic today. But well, yeah, the reason behind me being such like outgoing person, I might say, is because I enjoy doing that. Like, why not do that? Like it's a very stupid reason. I know that, but like, why not? That's it. That's my motto. Why not? So yeah.
Yeah. So are your parents also as you seem to be very outgoing? Are they also the same as you, or are they typically quiet?
No, they're very, very outgoing. My dad is my like I think I take it from my dad, and then like I take this quality from my dad, and then my dad sometimes is like, Rama, stop being outgoing. I'm like, you gave like it's from you. Why are you telling me that? Like you're outgoing. Why can't I be as well? Like But yes, my dad is very outgoing. He's a very optimistic person. He enjoys doing so much stuff. He's not a person that would just sit down and do nothing. He doesn't do that. He enjoys meeting new people. He enjoys risking things. He enjoys experiences. Like he enjoys that. My mother as well. Like she's a very outgoing person, but not as much as my father, of course. Like she's the calm person kind of, and like the house. Like my father is the one that's outgoing. My mother is like to make it balanced. So we've got like
Yeah.
extreme,
Yeah.
and I've got like kind of in the middle. So yeah. So that's how my parents are. Like my dad is very outgoing, so I take that from him. He loves risking things. He loves like experiencing new things, and he tells us to do the same. Like experience new things. You wanna like for instance, I'm studying English language and translation. Sales is not something that I would do. He once was like, no, why not? Why don't you go work as a salesperson? And I did. I worked for like 1 month as a sales coordinator to experience it. So he always tells us to go outside of the box, go experience new things. That's how my parents would have affected me from that
Mhm.
um, way. And my dad, yeah, as I said, they are quite outgoing, but they balance it a little bit so that the household is not very chaotic. So yeah.
So your mom is the more quiet type in the
Uh,
family.
to some extent, yeah. To some extent, yeah. Like
Amazing.
she does enjoy experiencing new things, but not as much as my father. Yeah.
Mhm. Amazing.
Mhm.
Because the way we've been exposed to our family can actually affect the way we are during our adult lives. And I remember Dr. Claire Hinsley, who's a metaphysical doctor in London. I was having this conversation with her, and she was saying, the way you are in your adult life can be largely affected by the way your environment has reared you. Your parents has a very big influence on you, your school, or whatever religious group that you've been into. All those things can be a factor for you to be you in your adult life, whether you're very optimistic or the opposite.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
so, how about your friends? Are they as optimistic as you, and you seem to be very enthusiastic, or are you the one who's like bringing that factor in your circle?
No, my friends, I've got some friends who are not as outgoing as I am, but I've got so many friends who are. I've got like university friends who enjoy doing so many things. One of them is with me in the team. He does a lot of stuff. I've got, you know,
Mhm.
like something in university. We've got like him working with me, and then he enjoys doing stuff. Like that's the friends that I've got. I've got friends who don't necessarily are very outgoing. They don't really like experiencing new things. They're like, no, no, why should I? Like, let me just sit at home in my cozy place. They don't really necessarily enjoy uh, getting out of the box or getting out of their comfort zone. But yes, answering to your question, I do have a lot of friends who are very outgoing. They enjoy getting out of the box. They enjoy meeting new people. They enjoy risking things. They enjoy new experiences. And I've got, you know, balancing. You know, I gotta balance my life a little bit. So I've got people who are outgoing and people who are not necessarily that outgoing. So yeah, that's
Amazing.
my friends group. Yeah.
Amazing. So anyway, it's Ramadan right now. So how are your activities at the moment?
Okay.
Satnam.
I think it's lagging a bit. Is it?
Let's see what's going on. Let's see. Yeah. All right. So wow. I'm looking at people making comments. All right. Okay. Fantastic. Hello, Satnam. Hello, Satnam, everyone.
Okay. I think I'm having some internet problems. Am I back? Okay. I
Yeah,
hopefully
you
I'm back.
are. So
Okay. Thank
anyway,
God.
I was asking you,
Yeah.
I was asking you about your activities right now because I know it's Ramadan and you have
Mm.
fasting hours in Jordan.
Yeah.
So what's Ramadan like in Jordan during fasting hours?
Okay, so to me, I'm not going to talk about everyone here in Jordan, but to me, because I'm a university student, I wake up at around 9 a.m. because
Mhm.
that's when my lectures start. I wake up at 9, I attend my lectures, and then at around 11, when my lectures are done, I take a long nap, like a 3-hour nap. Uh, and then I wake up for like my other lectures because like my lectures start at 9, they end at around 11, and then I've got other lectures at around 2. So I do that, and then after that, I go downstairs. I help my mother, you know, prepare the iftar, which is the meal that we eat, like when we break our fast. So I help my mother do that, and then after that, you know, we sit down with the family. We watch some TV. We laugh a bit. We eat some dessert and whatnot. And then I go by my day. I work on Lingo Hub. I work on the new activities and events that we've got going on. I finish my assignments that I have. I'm currently working on my research paper, like the graduation research paper. So that's something I do. But yeah, in general, people here in Ramadan, what they do is they either sleep all day and then like they wake up during iftar. Yeah,
Yeah,
these are the people that you're talking to. Yeah, that's so yeah, we've got some people that do that, and we've got people who wake up at like 6 a.m. and they're the most energetic people ever. They go on by their lives. They go to work. They, you know, they live lives as if they're not fasting, which I really salute these people because they're doing amazing. Like so yeah, so that's what we were doing. And of course, as you mentioned earlier, like before the live started, we do some charity work here, and especially during Ramadan. People they visit orphanage, they visit homeless people, they provide them with like boxes filled with food and stuff to help them during this holy month. We've got people who collect charity and whatnot, and yeah, that's how Ramadan is here in Jordan.
beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And I had such a good laugh with your with people sleeping during fasting hours because I have a lot of friends here who would tell us, it's Ramadan month, and if you want us to maintain our friendship, don't call me during fasting hours.
That's something else. I would never do that, but yeah, some people do that. Yeah.
So, at one time, a good friend of mine, because she has a very good sense of humor, and she would tell us, I would rather have that one day, no meat Fridays compared to the fasting hours that we have. She said it's such an easy requirement for your group to be abstaining from meat, and while us, we have to have the fasting hours, which is a lot
Mm.
more difficult to handle. So anyway, how young is someone expected to start fasting?
Now, it all depends on the person itself, but like here, they start from around 10 years old, something like that, to
Wow.
train themselves. Yeah, like here, we believe, once the person hits puberty, this is it. They need to start fasting and whatnot. Like it's no, like now, but for kids, for instance, we've got this thing called they fast half a day. Okay, so like for kids 10 years, 12 years and younger, what they do is they fast till like around the afternoon at around 3 p.m. and then khalas, they break their fast to
Mhm.
train them for the future years. So that's something that uh, we do here as Muslims, I guess. Yeah. So like the young kids, they train them on like fasting half a day, and the kids
Mhm.
enjoy it. Trust me, the kids, they really enjoy. Like,
Really?
I'm fasting. Yeah, they really do. Like, oh, I'm fasting. Like they, I don't know, like that's something that yeah. So kids here, they don't necessarily feel like oppressed or something. No, relax.
Yeah.
They enjoy fasting. They enjoy the vibes of Ramadan itself, like sitting
Really?
after like 16, 14 hours of fasting, sitting on the table with food in front of us, our family around us, then like breaking our fast altogether. This is like, to me, I would never, uh, what is it called? Like I'm thankful for that. Like that's
Yeah.
something I would, well, I don't know what the word is. Exchange it for the word, I guess. Like the world, I would never exchange it for anything. Yeah. This is a very nice thing that we do. Yeah.
Beautiful. Anyway, so do you break the fast with laban and dates? Because that's what I'm told. You have to break the fast with laban and dates.
Now it's sunnah, let's say, to break the fast with dates, not necessarily with laban, but like to drink some water and like dates, so that your digestive system isn't shocked with the food that you're gonna eat next. But I don't do that. I don't really eat dates. Or drink water. When I break my fast, I go directly into the rice and then like the meat. That's that's how I do, which is bad. It's unhealthy, but like that's how I do it. Now, many people, like, yeah, they eat laban and dates when they break their fast. Many don't. So again, it depends on the person and their what they enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah, because I tried it out with some friends and I also got that practice. So I would eat dates and drink some laban.
Mm,
So and dates are very good for the body.
yeah.
So of course you have an abundance of dates in your area, and for us we have to import that one.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, before I proceed, let me say hi to our friends who are watching: Amanda, Ragad, and Belal.
Ragad and Bilal. Yeah.
Yeah, so for those of you who are watching, please say hi. So and ask your questions to
Hi.
Rama if you have questions, because I am so amazed at her answer that she wouldn't replace the Ramadan tradition. I mean the fasting hours for something else. And it's amazing that you mentioned to me that even kids actually enjoy the fasting activity. It's
Mhm.
such a new experience for me to hear that, because some of my adult friends would tell me that it's not a very easy thing to do.
It's
So,
not. Yeah, it's not. That's the thing. It's not. But that's the joy of it. Is like at the
mhm,
end of the day, you're rewarded with something. You're rewarded with food. You're rewarded with, of course, other good deeds. Like that's you get rewarded at the end of the day. You got like that's how it is. That's the joy of it. And of course, at the end of Ramadan, we've got this Eid thing. That like that's the like after the 30 days of Ramadan, we've got Eid. Eid is a 3 day festival, we can say. I don't know what it's called exactly in English. How do they describe it? But we basically celebrate the end of Ramadan. We go out and then we meet our families. We go like from the morning till like night. We go out with our families and whatnot. So this is something that's how it is. That's the whole vibe of it, we can say. Yeah. So that's really
yeah.
something interesting. Of course, kids, they enjoy Eid more than anybody because they get money, they get gifts. Like I wish I could be a kid again because during Eid, that's a tradition where it's called Eidiyat. They basically the eldest they give the younger ones money because like, hey, كل عام وانتم بخير, here you go, some money, and they're like, can I have some too? That's how it is. So yeah, basically women and kids, they get the Eidiyat. Older boys, they don't, because خلاص, you're old. That's how it is. You're old, no more money for you. And then they start like, why not? Like, why should I be old to not get some money? So yeah.
Amazing. Anyway, another thing that I also want to share with you, because about 2 years ago, I was with some friends and I would pray in the mosque, and I met an imam. He gave me my praying mat. It was such a beautiful praying mat. And then I met some friends. They would invite me for dinner. It's a beautiful experience for me as well, because even for me as an observer of the whole tradition, it's such a fun experience how to, I mean, just to get exposed to the idea of how warm Muslims are to each other, even to me as a stranger, just, you know, doing my research with them. So it's another thing that I'm picking up from you, that kids are enjoying it. And I didn't know that
Mhm.
kids actually receive money during Ramadan, because I don't recall any of the families that I've celebrated Ramadan with do something similar. So this is
Mhm.
new to me. And another thing that you mentioned earlier, because we know that the almsgiving that you mentioned and then the charity work that comes with it, tell us why this is important in your culture, and if there is something that you would like to share. But before you answer that, Ragad said, I'm so proud of you, Rama.
Yeah, Rad is one of my best friends. Thank you, Rad.
Awesome. Hello there, Ragad. And he
Okay.
has this smiley face. Awesome. So that's amazing. So, please tell us more about it, because we believe in our practice that the more giving you are, the more you receive actually. And
Mhm.
one of the things that my Muslim friends would tell me, if you have a prayer intention or a wish and you do the fasting and the prayers during Ramadan, they say that there's a great blessing after you finish that particular period. Do you believe it?
I agree with you. I agree with you from the when you said that the almsgiving, when you give, you receive, and whatnot, and this is something we believe in as Muslims. And the almsgiving here, like in general, as Muslims, we believe that when you give the poor, God will reward you with something bigger. Yes, you're gonna give a small amount of money, but God, hopefully, inshallah, one day He's gonna reward you with more than that, with good deeds and whatnot. So this is something as Muslims we have to do. It's actually one of like the six pillars of faith that we believe in. Six pillars of iman. Sorry, where five pillars of iman. But let's but okay. Basically, during Ramadan we give out zakah, which is the almsgiving, and then
Mhm.
throughout the year as well, we've got zakah as well. If you've got a specific amount of money in your bank, you take out a little bit of it and you give it to the poor, as I mentioned before the live itself. So yes, so we do believe in that, and it's something that every Muslim must do, because as I told you again, we believe if you give, you're gonna receive much more than what you're giving, and God is gonna reward you one way or another, by
Yeah,
money, by a good life or whatnot. Maybe hatta like uh, with good deeds and all that. Yeah.
amazing. So thank you for sharing about the good life. And I'm just curious because, of course, we all have different opinions and perspective about what a good life is. So, what is a good life for you?
For me as Rama, okay. So
Mm-hmm.
for me as Rama, a good life would be having my family around, having them be healthy, happy, uh, them being there. That's about it. This is a happy life to me. Be me being successful, me being in a good mental health. You know,
Mm-hmm.
being physically good, being mentally stable. That this is a good life. It's not all
Yes,
about money or whatnot. It's not all about the luxury, because at the end of the day, everything's gonna fade away. Everything's gonna go. Money's gonna go. Uh, the whole luxury that that a person has is gonna go. Cars, houses. That's not gonna last. But if you've got a good family, if you've got good health, then that's what matters. Because good health and good family, good friends and whatnot, good company in general, that's what matters
mm-hmm.
at the end of the day. Because if you don't necessarily have good company around you, then what is life? Because nobody can live alone. That's the thing. Nobody can
Yes,
just sit in a bubble and live alone, eat, sleep, drink water. That's not life. So yeah, so I believe
exactly.
yeah, so if I believe if I've got my family good and healthy around me, if I've got good friends around me, if myself, like me, I'm good and healthy, then this is it. This means that I hit the jackpot. I'm you know, yeah. So yeah, so this is a successful life to me. Or this is a good life to me.
Yeah, indeed. Actually, it's amazing that at your age, this is how you think.
Hmm.
Especially, I think you're overlooking the part where you're being of service to a lot of people. You're being of service to children and to adults in your space. And at the same time, you're being of service to the kingdom of Jordan. It's fascinating for us outsiders to actually hear that because, number one, our country is run by political leaders that we elect. So that difference in culture fascinates me because, you learn more from diversity,
Hmm.
and it's just amazing to have that, especially, when we talk about Queen Rania. My friends and I have very positive outlook of her because of how, her leadership is actually shifting the tradition,
Mm.
and how she's expanding the how she's expanding things in many ways that, will make people think that you can think differently and you can combine being modern but at the same time keeping important traditions together. So what was the feeling like when you were part of the initiative that her group actually started?
It was amazing, to be honest. It was nice knowing that I'm doing something that will hopefully affect a lot of people. That's because that's what I believe in. If I'm not living in a life where I'm helping others, then what's the purpose? Uh, it was a very amazing experience. It was a very I would say it was a one of a kind experience. Like the people I got to meet, the idea of it, like something that the queen herself did to help others, and I'm like being a part of something like that the
Yeah.
queen herself did was an amazing thing. Like it's something I would never forget. Like that's something great. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
So anyway, you have a lot of friends watching you right now. So I think your friend Sharefa is also watching.
Sharif, yes,
Amazing.
yeah.
So did you, prior to this, were they acquainted that you're gonna come out today in the show? Because of course, it's an amazing experience to have uh, be part of a talk show outside your country.
Yes, actually, I told everyone. I posted on Instagram today, or like earlier today. I told my parents. I was very excited, to be honest, because as you said, it's something new. I
Yeah.
never got to have an interview with someone not in Jordan, or like in general go out live with someone that isn't in my country. So this is a new thing, and I told
Yes.
everyone. I told my friends, and I told my parents. I'm like, guys, tomorrow I'm going live. Please join us and whatnot. So yeah, so it was a very interesting thing, Sarah, and I'm very honored to have such, this opportunity of being able to talk to you, to have this interview with you, especially that you're someone that I met over the internet. So we literally, the internet's the greatest thing that has ever happened. So yeah, so yeah, because without that, I wouldn't have met new people. I wouldn't have, as you said, learned more about new cultures and traditions and whatnot. And today I have learned so much about your traditions in the Philippines. I have learned, earlier the talk that we had earlier. I learned so much about that. Uh, and at the end of the day, I got to meet such an amazing person. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Thank you as well because it was such an amazing experience for me to be able to serve outside my country when you invited me. We consider it an amazing honor and a privilege to be able to do something for friends as well, even if you don't share the same faith, for example,
Mhm.
officially, but because we just believe that there is a higher power, God,
Yeah.
Allah, in
Mhm.
place. So it feels so good to be part of it. So thank you as well for having me. And another thing that I want to ask you, Lingo Hub, like you've mentioned, I noticed how well you have done social media marketing for Lingo Hub.
Mm.
You're on Instagram, you're in LinkedIn. you're in Facebook
Yeah.
and other social media platforms. So is this something that they're teaching now in the university for the students to maximize?
Now, in my major, no, we don't necessarily, they don't necessarily teach us that. Like, I'm not sure about the other majors. Like, we've got marketing, we've got business, but I study English language. So everything that I'm doing from like marketing and whatnot, I just learn it on the internet. I search, articles, I read that. I ask people who are experienced in that field. But in my field, in my major, no, they do not necessarily teach that in university, which is something that, it makes you think, why don't they teach soft skills in general in university, because that's
Mhm.
something important. They gotta do that. They gotta teach that, because at the end of the day, we're not just gonna use the knowledge that we learn. We're not gonna just use the books that we study and read. That's not about it. Life is more than books. Life is
Yeah,
about skills, having conversation skills, having leadership skills, teamwork, and whatnot. Being able to market something on the internet, and
yeah,
this is something I think they need to like include courses like that for everyone, for like all the majors in university, as well as schools maybe. So yeah, so this is something hopefully we can change in the education system one day or another. Yeah.
really. So you just learned this because of your own initiative, and it's amazing because I was looking at the way you were managing Lingo Hub from
Mhm.
because personally for me, since I meditate a lot, I prefer to have less things to think about. I'm very purposeful. So if I think it's not gonna add value to what I'm doing, I don't really
Mhm.
just spread myself thinly
Okay.
because I feel that I have so much work to accomplish, and if I want to maintain the quality of it, I will have to reply to people who are chatting with
Mm.
me. And I feel that if I open all those avenues in social media, it's gonna take me an hour or two to reply to everyone.
Yeah, it's pretty time consuming. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm amazed that you're able to do this and you recognize the importance of marketing,
Hmm.
especially we live now in the digital age where marketing is the norm.
Yeah.
And what is marketing for you?
Marketing to me is basically spreading the idea that you're trying to reach. For instance, like I'm talking about Lingo Hub, tamam. Now Lingo Hub, we believe in familiarizing the population with the English language. So when I'm marketing Lingo Hub, I'm not marketing it as Lingo Hub. I'm trying to market it as something that the people need. It's something that the people will use one day or another, because everyone needs to be familiar with the language. Everyone needs to have English as their second language, because we all know that English is a very important language. We all know it's a lingua franca. It's, as you said, it's a way to like global communication. It's very, very necessary.
Mhm.
So when I market Lingo Hub, I try to market it in a way that it's not something that you want, it's something that you need, it's something that's going to help you, it's something that's going to be an advantage to you. I'm not trying to sell you something, because like right now we're not charging anything for everything. Like we're not charging money for all our events. It's all free. We're trying to help the people. So when I market it, it's all about, it's an advantage to you, so use that. Use us offering courses for free in order to and build your language. So this
Yeah,
is marketing is to me. It's not about marketing the product itself. It's marketing if the person needs it or not. It's marketing the idea of it. It's marketing the advantages that the person will get if they bought it, or if they registered it in like in the courses or whatnot. So yeah, so this is how it is.
amazing. So where did you pick up that idea?
It's all self-made, I guess. I like
Amazing.
it's something that I believe in. I don't like nobody really gave me a book to read and told me this is how marketing is. It's all from the research I did. It's all from what I believe in, because at the end of the day, it's what you believe in that affects what you're doing. So yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it does. And I'm amazed that you have that kind of answer for someone who did not study marketing. And
I think I need to change my major. That's about it. So yeah.
yeah, because you're doing it so effortlessly, like it's second nature to you.
Mm, I don't know. I don't know. Thank you for that, I guess. But yeah.
Mhm. You deserve it. And I'm amazed because you have this pattern for learning and growing. And a lot of people your age can actually benefit from the good example that you're exuding. So I'm sure that Ragad and Sharefa are combining forces with you. Maybe they're inspired by you. Are you
That
inspired by
would be
your
great.
friend? Please let us know.
That would be great. If someone is inspired by me, that would mean that I'm, hitting the jackpot again. That would be very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, but I have a question. When is your birthday?
My birthday is on the 21st of February.
So are
Yeah.
you, is that Pisces or Aquarius? Are you
No,
into it or Aquarius?
Pisces. No.
Pisces.
Uh-huh.
Amazing. So, you know, we study these things, and they had a guest last Saturday, and you were talking about the nature of the different signs. But you being Pisces is still close to Aquarius, which, by the way, I'm Aquarius. So, yeah,
uh,
it's just amazing because when you study those things, you will realize why certain things, certain people are the way they are, and why we're experiencing certain collective experience. Like the internet is a collective experience for us. Our generation is into the digital age,
mm-hmm.
and
No.
so, in your place, is it like every area has Wi-Fi already, or do people have to get it from private companies, or is it something that the government regulates so everybody can use the internet?
Not everybody can use the internet, no. And the government does not necessarily provide us with, like, yes, we've got companies, we've got private companies that have the internet, but at the end of the day, you need to buy it. You need to get the router, you need to buy, like, you need to pay every month in order to have Wi-Fi. But yeah,
Mhm.
that's how it is. And not everyone, like, in Jordan necessarily has it. Depends if they've got the money or not. Yeah. So, for instance, people in the countryside, people who are less fortunate, they don't necessarily have Wi-Fi because, again, it's not for free. You know, to pay for
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that's how
So,
it is here in Jordan.
is the internet affordable, or would you think it's a bit pricey for the majority?
Now, I can't really answer that because I don't pay for the Wi-Fi. My father does. this, this I can't really answer because I don't know how much it costs here. To be honest, I just, he pays, I use it. That's how it is. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. So, but he knows that you're using the internet for Lingo Hub every Friday.
Yeah,
It's every
yeah.
Friday, right?
Now the speaking club is gonna be every Friday. Yes.
Awesome. So,
Hmm.
anyway, since we're coming to a close, what are some of the things that you'd like the audience to know? Where can they find you? How can they join the speaking club? Is it
Yeah.
also open to other people outside Jordan uh,
Yes.
to be
Yes.
a
It's
part
open
of?
to. It's open to everyone because it's online, and thank God for the online. He can reach everywhere, like anyone in all the countries in the world. So yes, it's open to everyone in Jordan or outside of Jordan. You can find us like Lingo Hub. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok at Lingo Hub Joe. And you can find me, Rama, at all the social medias as well. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Where am I as well? That's about it. Yeah. So yeah. So
Awesome.
that's how you can reach me. Yeah.
Awesome. So, for those of you who would like to join the Grandma Speaking Club every Friday, even if you're outside Jordan, just make sure that you have the time zone
Yeah.
uh, similar to to the meeting, so you can join her and her team. They're such an amazing group, and they're all professionals, and it's such a beautiful experience. I encourage everybody to be part of it. Dr. Sama, if you're watching this or if you're gonna watch it later, I'm so impressed with your research, and I trust that I'll be able to have more of you and your other friends here in the show. And you know, I
Hopefully one
always
day. Yeah.
ask everybody, Rama, here in the show, if there's one perspective that they want to leave with us in case, I mean, right now it's you. What perspective do you want to leave with me and the rest of the viewers?
Mm. I would just say to be more open to new experiences and whatnot. Like, don't necessarily close yourself to the bubble that you're in. Get out of that. Get out of your comfort zone. Meet new people. Experience new stuff. Take risks. That's how it is. Like, we can say, expand the way you're looking at stuff. Expand your perspective in one way or another. So yeah. So that's something I would tell everyone, because life is short at the end of the day, and if you don't necessarily take the risk, if you don't necessarily experience new things, then have you even lived? That's
Yeah,
how. Yeah.
amazing. Thank you so much. You're such an amazing person filled with so much wisdom and enthusiasm, and the world needs more people like you. And
Thank you.
by the way, Ragad was saying both of you are amazing. Thank you for that. And I trust that you will grow in number and that Lingo Hub will become a global phenomenon.
Ya Rab, I pray for that. Let's
Yeah,
pray for that. Yeah.
yes,
So yeah,
and so it is. So thank you so much, Rama. Salam alaikum, Ramadan
thank you
Kareem
so
to
much.
all of you. And I trust that I'll have you and some of your friends again next time. Maybe I can have Dr. Sama next week if she's free.
Hopefully, you can contact her. I can give you her LinkedIn account. You can contact her, and you know,
Awesome.
maybe one day, yeah, maybe she can have this interview with you as well. So yeah.
Yeah. And who knows, maybe Queen Rania would like to come over for this.
Okay. Okay, I would be excited for that. I'm not gonna jinx it, so let's.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. And remember to tune in again for another episode of Perspective. Tomorrow, I'm going to have one of the most amazing teachers in the metaphysical field. Thank you so much, Rama. And Salam
Thank,
Alaikum and have fun.
thank you so
All
much.
right.
Thank you, Reverend. Thank you for having me. It was such an honor.
You're welcome. And you deserve it. So, Satnam, everyone. I am Reverend Reg, and I am so grateful to have this opportunity to have a friend during the Ramadan season. In our metaphysical circle, we believe that if you're creating a space for some of your friends who are actually in their celebratory mode, like what they're doing right now, there is such a great blessing in opening yourself up to other perspectives, other cultures, so that we can work more in balance and harmony. So I'm very grateful to Rama for coming over. I know she has a very busy schedule, and I'm just happy that she's still very optimistic and enthusiastic even during fasting hours. So, Satnam, everyone, if you have your Muslim friends with you or they're just close by, spend time with them, enjoy their celebration of Ramadan. It's such a beautiful experience for everyone. And remember, if there's a perspective here in the show that you picked up that you would like to use in your personal life, take action immediately. Because when you put things in perspective, your perspective shapes your reality, and the action that you take actually transforms yourself and your life. And hopefully, the transformation is worthwhile and fulfilling. Salam alaikum, everyone, and have fun.